be our best Punta Cana beach experience yet.
In this video, we're going to share our first impressions of the Occidental Punta Cana, along with how we got a great deal at this resort and exactly what we paid. Along the way, we'll show you where the resort exceeded and fell short of expectations, and how our visit compared to our other Punta Cana resort stays. First off, let's talk prices. We booked a 5-night stay in an 840 square foot royal suite at the Occidental Punta Cana. We made this booking on the Barcelo Hotel Group website approximately a month and a half prior to our stay. We paid around $688 including taxes and fees, which comes out to approximately $138 per night. What really surprised us about the pricing for these dates was that it was actually less expensive to book a royal level suite than a standard level suite. And as we'll explain later in this video, the royal level status offers several advantages over the standard status. While we don't believe it's common for the royal suite to be less expensive than a standard suite, a recent price check that we did for a 5-night stay in May returned similar results, with the standard suite priced at $122 per night and the royal suite priced at only $100 per night. The $100 per night royal suite price increased to around $122 per night when taxes and fees were included, along with a 5% member discount. So if you can be flexible with your travel dates and are willing to book a non-refundable room, you too may be able to book a royal suite for less than a standard suite, which in our opinion is an amazing bargain. While booking a royal level room does provide you with your own check-in area, your own section of beach, and your own pool, by far the biggest perks of booking royal for us were the restaurant and the beach bar. Royal guests can enjoy all 3 meals at the Royal Restaurant if they choose. Our first meal at the Royal Restaurant was for lunch, and we'll tell you about that experience right now.
So we just finished our first meal at the resort, which was lunch at the Royal Restaurant. We absolutely loved the ambiance, the music was good, the view of the ocean was great. As far as the food goes, I really loved the fish ceviche, and I also did enjoy the beef medallions, although I ordered them medium rare and they came out with hardly any pink in them at all. So next time I order steak at this resort, I'm gonna order it rare and we'll see how it goes.
Now my favorite items from our first meal at the resort have to be the fish ceviche and also the creme brulee. But I will say that that creme brulee was a little more like a butterscotch pudding with the burnt sugar on top, but we both still really enjoyed it.
We also ate most of our breakfast at the Royal Restaurant, although we did eat a couple breakfasts at the main buffet. While we did generally prefer breakfast at the Royal Restaurant, it wasn't perfect, as we'll explain next.
We just finished up our first breakfast at the resort at the Royal Restaurant, and it was a little bit hit or miss. I really did enjoy my salmon and cream cheese omelet. I also love the fact that I was able to order a Bloody Mary, but on the negative side, I did ask for a side of bacon that never arrived at all.
And also, we ordered those lattes, and I'm pretty sure they were hot chocolate.
That's true.
Because we wanted to show you the a la carte restaurants for our ultimate tour video, we only ate dinner at the Royal Restaurant on one night. And I'll let Skylar tell you about that experience right now.
So our dinner tonight was good, but also a little bit interesting. First of all, we can confirm that you can order as many appetizers, entrees, or desserts as you want to. And tonight we ordered 3 entrees. So speaking of the entrees, tonight I ordered a medium rare filet. And unlike earlier today where my medium rare steak came out overdone, tonight it came out very rare, which was fine with me. But if you're someone who's really picky about the way your steak is cooked, you might be a little bit disappointed. So the other interesting thing about tonight is that we also ordered the swordfish. And what we got was definitely not swordfish. It was an extremely flaky and buttery fish. So much so that Jamie coined it the butter of the sea. But even though it wasn't swordfish, it was delicious and we had no problem finishing it off. Now the third entree that we ordered was the tuna, and that was cooked to perfection.
Now that we've shown you the Royal Restaurant, we're going to share our experience at the 4 a la carte restaurants that we visited on our stay. And we'll start off with our first a la carte dinner at the Oriental Restaurant. Here we found a menu full of several delicious sounding options that we were excited to try. As this restaurant wasn't very busy during our visit, we were hopeful that the service would be good, but unfortunately that wasn't the case.
How long have we been here so far? 20 minutes. And we just got our water. So after 25 minutes, we got our drink order. It's 8:56, meaning we've been here for 56 minutes. What do we have so far?
Water and a Coke.
Which I ordered a rum and Coke and I got straight Coke. They did take our orders, but no food yet. Hour and 10 minutes in, we've gotten our appetizers. They were very small, but they were good. And still waiting on our entrees.
Before we go much further, we wanted to note that while our a la carte experiences were far from perfect, we were visiting the resort less than 2 weeks after a hurricane had hit Punta Cana. It's very possible that the resort was still experiencing staff and supply shortages as a result of the storm, and that our dining experiences were not typical. Staff and supply shortages, or even damage to the property, are some of the many risks you take when choosing to visit the Caribbean during hurricane season. For more information about the pros and cons of traveling during hurricane season, check out this video next.
So 80 minutes in, we got entrees. I'm not saying our entrees because one of them is definitely not what we ordered, but we did at least get entrees. That is the beef teriyaki, I think, which we did not order, but
It looks really good.
it does look good. And I think this is the beef tapenaki that we ordered. We did not get our curry squid. That's okay, I had squid for lunch. We're just not willing to wait any longer for more food, so. But yeah, we got food. You ready to eat?
As much as we were not impressed with the service at the Oriental restaurant, we did find the food to be pretty good.
It does taste really good.
With one a la carte down and 3 more to go, it was time to check out the steakhouse next. Like the Oriental restaurant the night before, we found the steakhouse to not be very busy, and some of the menu items to be unavailable or replaced. We were happy to find a salad bar that was full of fresh vegetables, which allowed us to snack while we waited on our orders. Fortunately, the service was much faster on this night, and we had our chicken wing appetizer by the time we finished our salads. Speaking of the wings, they didn't look the greatest, and they definitely weren't crispy, but the flavor was good and they had a little kick.
All the food right there. Is it ours? Skylar hopes so.
Fortunately, the food was ours and it arrived reasonably quickly. Unfortunately, neither of our steaks were the ribeyes that we expected to be on the menu, and they were once again cooked inconsistently.
Both medium rare. Very different color.
While the quality of the steaks wasn't great, we were thankful that the service was much better than at the Oriental restaurant. Our next dinner destination is the Mexican restaurant, La Hacienda, which we found to be a bit busier than the steakhouse and the Oriental restaurants. One great thing about La Hacienda is that there's a bar right next door, so if your margarita is a little weak like Skylar's was, an extra shot of tequila is just a few steps away.
Got your present.
Oh yeah.
After browsing through a good selection of Mexican entrees, we opted for the beef fillet and the chicken with mole poblano sauce. And after a quick trip through the salsa bar, our food had arrived, and we thought it was the best of all the a la cartes.
Tonight we ate at La Hacienda, which is the a la carte Mexican restaurant here at the resort. Now this restaurant actually has a salsa bar inside with multiple salsas, guacamole, and also cheese. So even if it did take a little while, you are able to get a snack while you're waiting. Now our favorite entree was the Tampiqueña style beef fillet. It was cooked exactly how we ordered it, and we really enjoyed it.
Our fourth and final a la carte stop takes us to Las Caracolas Seafood Restaurant, one of the most beautiful spots on the resort, both day and night. We placed our order from the list of seafood options without much care on how long it would take to arrive, as we were more than content relaxing in this wonderful atmosphere. We started this meal off with a couple of seafood soups, plus ceviche and the tuna tartare. While we didn't love the appetizers, the ceviche was pretty good, and both our fish and steak entrees were quite good as well. We also really enjoyed the dessert at Las Caracolas, and we'll tell you about our overall experience here right now.
We don't feel like we got the full experience at this restaurant because there were many menu items that were not available during our stay. However, we did enjoy our entrees, but we really enjoyed the ambiance there with the breeze rolling in off of the ocean and also the sound of the shell chandeliers.
Overall, we did prefer the Royal Restaurant dinner experience to most of the a la carte restaurants, but those who don't book the Royal level will still be able to find some good food for dinner. And if you don't want to deal with potentially long wait times at the a la cartes, you can also eat at the grab-and-go taco and pizza spots, both of which we found to be very good. The spot where Royal level guests will find perhaps the most improved experience over standard guests is at the bar. While guests will only find a limited variety of well liquors and mixers at the standard bars, the Royal level bar has a good selection of higher quality liquors and even an espresso machine.
One of my favorite things about this resort is being able to have coffee right out here at the beach bar.
Not only does the Royal Bar offer great drinks, but it also has 2 hot tubs and these stunning Caribbean views. And even though our Occidental Punta Cana stay was the cheapest of our Punta Cana resort visits, the bar here was by far our favorite. As mentioned earlier in this video, another perk of booking Royal is that upon arrival at the resort, you get taken to your own check-in area. And unlike the standard check-in area, the Royal check-in area has champagne, air conditioning, and generally a much shorter line. While we're not entirely sure what the differences are between a standard suite and a Royal suite, we do know that our Royal suite was pretty nice, and we're going to give you the full tour right now.
Once you walk in, to the right you'll find the dining area, and behind that is one of 2 closets located in this suite with a whole bunch of hangers. And in the corner over here is the kitchenette area with the refrigerator, coffee machine, ice bucket, and also a microwave. And then you'll see we've got a giant bench here to lay out your luggage and unpack, and there's also some storage underneath there. And then we have a flat screen TV, and underneath of that we have a fax machine and scanner, which like this room is a little bit dated. Now we do have the seating area over here as well, and you can access the balcony from this room, but we're going to show you that in a little bit. Next to the living area is this spacious bedroom with this enormous bed. Now because we are on the 3rd floor, we have these incredibly tall ceilings, which make the room feel even bigger. And behind me is the second of 2 closets in this suite. Here's where you'll find the ironing board, the umbrella, and also the safe. Now when you walk into the bathroom area, the toilet's gonna be on your right and the shower's gonna be on your left. It has shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, and it has a rain shower head and a handheld shower. Now behind me there are dual vanities, and underneath you'll find the scale and also the hairdryer. Now before we go out to the balcony, there are a few more things I want to point out in this room. It does have USB charging ports and also universal international plugins. So whether you're coming from the United States or from Europe, you shouldn't need an adapter. And then across from the bed, you'll find another flat screen TV, and here's our complimentary rum on top of the dresser. And then you'll also find a desk right next to the dresser. Now let's go check out the biggest balcony that we have ever had at a resort. To the right, we have a jacuzzi tub, which we will have to give a try if it does cool down a little bit. Now this balcony is so long, it connects to our living area. Just look at that. Now we don't have a view of the ocean here, but it's still pretty nice. But we do still see some damage from Hurricane Fiona.
Now that we've given you the tour of our room, it's time to share our overall opinion of the Occidental Punta Cana. In comparison to our prior 2 Punta Cana stays at the Lobusan Costa Bavaro and Bahia Principe Ambar, the quality of food at the buffets and a la cartes was not as good. However, with access to the Royal restaurant, the dining experience was far better than it would have been without the Royal status. The drinks at the standard bars were also not as good as those at our prior 2 resort visits. However, the Royal Bar at the Occidental was definitely our favorite bar experience, as it had good drinks, the best views, and stayed open late into the evening. Our room at the Occidental Punta Cana was definitely more dated than our rooms at the Lobusan or Bahia Principe, but it was also nearly twice as big, had vaulted ceilings, and had a hot tub on the balcony, making it our favorite room of the 3 resorts. In regards to the grounds, this property did show its age a bit compared to the two newer resorts, but it also had the most mature landscaping, and we just loved all the tall palm trees. We also found the variety of pools at this resort to be far superior to the single pool at the Bahia Ambar, although we definitely preferred the Lopesan pool experience overall. The area where the Occidental shines brightest, despite its lower cost, is its beach. While all three resorts we stayed at had gorgeous beaches, we found the Occidental's beach to be the most breathtaking of them all. Plus, we had the least amount of trouble finding an open beach chair at the Occidental. The service at the Occidental Punta Cana was hit or miss, as was the food, but that's honestly what we'd expect out of a $138 per night resort. What we did not expect was a beach and beach bar experience which exceeded that of the far more expensive resorts we stayed at previously. While the overall Lopesan unique experience was quite a bit better than the Occidental, the price we paid was also nearly 3 times as much. While we also found the experience at the Bahia Ambar to be better in most areas, the price we paid at that resort was around 50% higher than the Occidental. While we certainly can't say the royal level at the Occidental was the best resort experience we've had, we can say it was the best value for the money. And if you're looking for a relaxing vacation on a budget like we often are, we would absolutely recommend booking the royal level at the Occidental Punta Cana. To see the complete tour of this amazing property or one of the other Punta Cana resorts we visited, go ahead and click on this playlist now. Thanks for watching!